Well, a theme I've heard from probably 10 people here today is powerlessness. No one listens to them, at least no one in the establishment, whether it's establishment media or establishment political parties, let alone establishment police. So it's almost unique to see an actual elected official here, and hopefully his presence will deter any police action, although so far the police have kept themselves hundreds of yards away. I'm talking with Councillor Glen Moore. What a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks very much. Glad to be here, and I'll be here for a good while until I go. But yeah, it's just look, it's much more calm than what it is yesterday. You said there, to deter the police. No, we got sprayed. It was 4 councillors yesterday, and we were targeted as well. So even though we tried to de-escalate the situation because there was a good few elderly people. So the idea is we wanted to de-escalate is because the riot police was charging, and many people couldn't actually get away from them fast enough, especially elderly people. And we already have a video of a 79-year-old lady that got pepper sprayed, and she was on crutches. So that was one of the reasons, we wanted to de-escalate to stop them from advancing each time, because you had people just confused, didn't know where to go, didn't know where to stand. People were getting hurt, and it was just mad. And to say, of course there was young lads acting the MAGA, throwing stuff and all that. Of course that happened, but both sides were engaging on each other. Both the Garda broke ranks, ran into the crowd, grabbed people, antagonised people. Both sides. It just blew up, and there was no chance for a peaceful protest. So it was disappointing on both sides. But I still stand by what I was saying online, is that people here, we have the right to free assembly and to protest, and that should be respected on both sides. Should be respected on both sides, both the law enforcement and the people here.
No, I mean, it's interesting because we have people of every age here. There are some seniors who need a little bit of help, don't have a lot of mobility. You do have, I'm going to say, 20 young lads who I think are looking for a little adrenaline, looking for a little action. And if they did throw things, which apparently they did, that's not a good thing. But to have a mass indiscriminate pepper spray that hit you, so you yourself were pepper sprayed.
Yeah. So
I take it you were not throwing rocks. You're an elected city councillor.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, no one has a video of me committing any crime. All I did was I was blocked off on multiple locations, so I had to walk past a line of Garda, and I seen someone in front of me get pepper sprayed for no reason whatsoever. And all I said was, what you did was wrong, and I was told to fuck off. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I was told to fuck off and get lost, and I got sprayed as well by walking past. So
in Canada, police have the power to use pepper spray or even firearms, but of course they have to do so within certain rules, within the law. They can't be wild. They can't be indiscriminate. In Canada, if you were pepper sprayed for having done nothing, the police might be in trouble for assault themselves. Have you or any of the other people who were pepper sprayed considered your legal rights, or is this something you're going to write a letter to the Garda about, or are you just going to let it be?
Well, you see, you could do that. It's the right course of action. But the Garda that are in riot gear and are covered up, they have no numbers, and no one would keep track exactly where they are. So you'd be looking for a needle in a haystack. So there's no way you can get these. So that's one of the reasons why probably a lot of them, like there was one video of a Garda dropping his riot shield and going straight towards a guy to get him down. He didn't resist, and then another Garda took out the baton and was beating the crap out of him. So they can take advantage in liberties like that all they want, because the number is hidden and their faces are hidden. So it's, like I said, it's not good sights at all. To me, it feels like dark times, that your people are killing each other over something that we feel we should have control of. We don't want this country to be flooded with thousands, hundreds of thousands of undocumented males. You keep saying women and children, it's not. We have the videos. Everybody has videos, thousands upon thousands of videos. It's lies upon lies upon lies, and people are waking up going this. There's something wrong. It's a sinister feeling the Irish people have, and that's what's causing people to show up. Is that thing at the back of their mind saying something is wrong. We're not being told what's happening. Why are they being planted here? Why do we have to pay for them? Why are we bringing the world here? Where this is a massive strain on our economy. Where the worst thing I feel, like, you know, a lot of people talk about dentist appointments and hospitals are overflowing. Yeah, the worst thing I see is actually the prisons are overflowing. Our prisons are at 87.5 to 90%, and they're letting criminals out because of overcrowding. So criminals are going to prison and they're being let out. They're not being punished. That's an incentive for them to say, oh, I can actually commit this crime again. I can go back in and I'll be out in a week's time. It's madness, and it feels like this is the fall of a republic. It feels like this is the fall of our culture and our civilization, and people can feel it. People can see it. I see it. I'm in politics now. I'm an engineer. I didn't want to do politics. I don't like politics. I don't want to be a politician. But I'm doing this because I see bad things happen in the future if no one takes a stand against this. Our culture is being eroded. What are we supposed to do? And to be honest, I don't even have any answers. No one has answers. We don't know how to tackle it. Truly, we don't.
Now, you said some very spicy things. You've criticized the police, which, you know, for an elected official, that's actually a fairly dramatic thing to do. I guess, fair play, they pepper sprayed you. Have you faced any pressure, any cancel culture, any retaliation against you for standing with these people? Because so far, you're the first official person I've seen be here.
Well, you get the people online, you know, saying you can't be doing this, can't be doing that. I have followed the Constitution law very clearly, and I remain in those boundaries. I don't break it, and I know my rights. So if anyone wants to come after me, they're not going to win, because I can literally just quote the Constitution every time. Like, a lot of people were saying, like, you have no right of being here, but you're a councillor in another area. I was like, I have a right to free assembly and the right to protest anywhere I want in this country. Even though it isn't my area, I'm here to support people. So,
now, why do you think the local councillors are not supportive? I mean, if I was a politician, politicians care about money and they care about votes. And I know that Coolock isn't a very wealthy neighborhood, but there seems to be hundreds of people who are very worried. Wouldn't it make pragmatic sense for a politician to say, I can oppose this migrant center and have hundreds of passionate supporters? Like, where are the local councillors from this district?
well, from the South Dublin County Council, a lot of them are in support of what has happened here, but they won't say it. They're too afraid. It's the woke movement. They're afraid of saying something, and, you know, the cancel culture. Like, they're afraid of saying something and you'd be accused of being a racist or whatever it is. There's nothing to do with racism. You could have blonde hair, blue eyes, and millions of them could be going into that centre. It doesn't matter. Ireland is full. It doesn't matter where you come from. We can't deal with this anymore. So,
I mean, I look around, and if I was running here, I would think, well, I could get hundreds of volunteers. I would win. Who are those other politicians afraid of? I mean, I've seen polls that suggest that many Irish do not like this level of immigration. I just don't see that reflected in the government. Do you think that can change? Tell me about some of the nationalist parties. You yourself are involved in one of the nationalist parties, am I right?
So I'm the Irish Freedom Party, and our main objective is to leave the European Union. We believe it's gotten completely out of control, especially with the migration. You just have to look up videos in France and Germany. Crimes has gone sky high, and it's never the native Europeans that are committing it. It's people that are coming from North Africa and the Middle East. It's not a nice thing to say, but it's true. It's the truth. You're bringing people in that are from a country countries that are falling apart and riddled with crime. I have no problem with migration. I have no problem with doctors and engineers coming here, but that's not what's coming here. It's people that are like, I catch a lot of people out by saying, you know, if someone doesn't side with me, I say, do you go on holidays? And they say, yeah, I go on holidays. I said, where would you go on holidays? Do you go to Spain or France or Italy? And they say, yeah, I would. I was like, would you go to Algeria or Nigeria? And especially for a woman, they'd say, no. I said, why not? I was like, is it unsafe for you? I was like, yeah, it's very unsafe. I was like, well, what makes that country unsafe? They think for a second. I was like, it's the people that are there that make it unsafe. Those same people are getting into this country now and making us unsafe. That's the bottom line. And it's the truth.
I stepped off the plane this morning. I went to a newspaper stand. Every single newspaper had the same front page. Slightly different words. Deplorable was one of them. Now, in North America, Hillary Clinton called working class people deplorables. It was a kind of insult. Every single media outlet was like they were reading from the same script. Are there any alternative sources of news or information? Because if Facebook and Instagram are censored, if the mainstream media is a monolith, if the radio is a monolith, and RTE, how is an Irish person supposed to get the other side of the story?
We just have to beat the elections and stop the taxpayers from paying for a corrupt media. Don't even try to install a favourable media on your side when you take power. Just don't defund it. A propaganda tool is not good for any society, especially a free one. So
There it is, Councillor Glen Moore, talking to us in a group of people that few politicians would dare to stand with. Thanks very much for your time. Nice to meet you.